So today I'll be reviewing Wolfman. So Wolfman is a new January horror movie. I saw this movie about a week ago with a secret guest that is not going to appear on the video. But Wolfman is a movie that I saw trailers for and I was thinking, this movie is a January horror movie. So I did not get my expectations up at all. I did see some decent reviews for it, but going into this movie, I really was not expecting much. I saw some decent reviews, so my expectations were a little up. But my initial thoughts with this movie, I'd say it's been a little while thinking about it now, but this is a little better than your average, just terrible January movie, because there's some really bad ones. Night Swim last year. But I'd say this movie, overall initial thoughts, I thought there's some stuff to enjoy. There's some unique, different angles they go on the Wolfman story, certain abilities. And I'd say this is definitely better than your just horse crap, terrible January horror movie slate that has a lot of them. There's some stuff to like, but ultimately it was still not enough to make me like this movie and even say it was above average. I'm battling right now to say whether it's even going to be above average or not. Like usual, let me go into my positives first. My positives with this movie, I'd say, are definitely the acting from the main actors in this movie. You got a mom, dad, and a kid. You have a couple other characters in there, but pretty much it's just these three main characters. And they did a good job. They definitely did good in their roles. They were convincing. There was a lot of emotion there between this family. You did care for them. And the other positives is the unique angles they go with certain abilities that the Wolfman has. I mean, not to spoil it, but the Wolfman has certain abilities, has enhanced hearing, seeing, things like that I thought was really cool. There were different angles, like from the Wolfman and then from the people looking at him, because he has a different view of the world. And there's a very cool scene with a spider that I'd say is probably the best scene in the movie, where it shows his enhanced hearing, seeing. Thought it was an excellent scene. And the other positives, there's some emotion. There's some strong emotion with the characters. And I'll admit, it was a lot better from beginning to end. The ending had a lot more like emotion. And I was a little more invested in this movie, I'd say, than other movies at the end where I'm completely checked out. I wasn't completely checked out in this movie towards the end. But let's go to the negatives. There's a lot of this movie where it's kind of stalling. You don't know where it's going to go. A lot of this movie, they're trapped in one location. There's some really, really dumb character decisions in this movie. I mean, there's one, like leaving their kid in a certain area and then just not looking for pretty obvious solutions when you have a monster running around, not looking for weapons. There's stupid stuff like that. I'd say the other biggest negative is just that you really didn't know where the story was going. I mean, there has to be some hints at what we can do to even think about solving this. It's a tough situation they're in, but it gets very repetitive with what they're doing. It's run away from the Wolfman here, run away from the Wolfman to here, run away, go back to here again, run back there again. You're just going back and forth thinking, what's going on here? I will say there is a positive with as far as an action scene. There's some decent action, and I liked the different take they had on the Wolfman. A big negative, I just remembered now, though, is the aesthetics, the look of the Wolfman. He wasn't hairy enough. I don't understand. This Wolfman, for him to be a Wolfman, I'd say he's just more like a hairy guy. He's barely even a wolf. I don't understand the wolf aspect. His eyes are different. He grows a little bit of hair and his jaw gets dislocated, which I didn't understand that at all. But I don't understand the Wolfman part. I always think about the Wolfman from an old black and white movie. It's kind of a comedy, but it's this picture right here. That's what I think about when I see the Wolfman, because he's completely furry like a wolf and he stands on two legs like a man. But the wolf aspect, I mean, you should be completely a wolf. I know they're trying to go a little different angle there, but I still think for a Wolfman that it should have been more hairy, more furry, and look like a wolf. But overall, I'd say I had a pretty good time at this movie. It was entertaining at times. I'd say it was a pretty good time. There was stuff to enjoy with the Wolfman and his abilities, and there was some emotion there. but ultimately it's just not anything I'm going to remember. It didn't follow through with a convincing ending. There's some confusing aspects of the motivation of the Wolfman towards the end. There's just a lot of stupid decisions, very dumb character decisions of not trying to find solutions. You didn't have a clear path of where you were going with this story. And there's just a lot of things with the Wolfman that they just did not do right, the aesthetics. So I think this is below average. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10 because I do believe it was below average. There's some stuff to enjoy. It's better. It's not just your horrible, atrocious, thrown out there January horror movie. I don't think so. There's a lot more put into it than that. But ultimately, there's a lot to be desired, and this is going to be a 4 out of 10. I would not recommend it, but this is going to be my first review of 2025. But make sure you let me know down below if you've seen The Wolfman. What did you think of this movie? Do you think it's a terrible, garbage, trash, dumpster fire January movie, or did you like it? Make sure you let me know down below, and as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.